Here we go!
Get that last no-scope kill and hit pause. It's time for the video game podcast where the Konami code is alive and well. The console wars don't exist. Rings are just as valuable as coins. Pots are not safe from swords. Giant robots kick ass. And fireballs are a perfectly acceptable weapon in a fist fight. That's right, it's time for the Super Gamer Bros Podcast Ultra Hyper Alpha Super EX Double Impact Plus A Live. Settle in and let's get to gaming.
Live. Hey everyone, welcome to Super Gamer Bros Live. We're trying something a little new today, so this should be pretty interesting to see how this all plays out. Welcome to the show. How are you today, Pocky?
I'm good. I think someone is showing up shortly. I'm doing well. I don't know where my infinite amount of space is gone. All I've got is green cloth around me. Where's my train?
Yeah, I like I told Pocky, I'd rather trade options for a green screen. Sorry, Pocky, you're just not green screening for a while.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it after a while, won't you?
Yes. I just missed the ability to go, I'm in space!
You're in space and hideaway. Well, joining us a little late, but still here having fun is Cynic. Hey! Ta-da! Hey, Cynic's here. Can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me? Testing.
We can hear you. Yes, yay! So we're all here, and we're testing something completely new that I just signed up for today. Learned how to use. Go me!
Yeah.
Because failure is never a good option. And also, I have to let everyone know, I can see the output stream, and it's off by like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's just a little weird, but this at least we can watch what's going on. Like I'm really enjoying this. So we were using StreamYard for a long time, and I really hated the fact that we couldn't do customizations. And so I've been researching, and that's how I found Lightstream. And because I want us to look better and have more options, I was like, yes. So I went ahead and signed up for the trial, and we're testing it out, and we're gonna have lots of fun because there's a certain way I want the show to go. And can you imagine us doing fan service like this too? There's a certain way I want this show to go that I need more options for, so that's why we decided to switch.
Does it say Pocky?
It says Pocky, P-O-C-K-Y.
Okay, because I'm trying to look at this small little icon, and it looks like an L.
Well, I'll move it so it won't look like an L, you bitchy queen. Like, come on.
I'm sorry, but I was like, I'm not Pocky.
Yeah, so this is just a test with our layout today and how we're doing things, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So, welcome to Super Gamer Bros. I'm one of your hosts, Slaten, joined by...
I'm Pocky, apparently.
And Cynic just went dead, like his mic went muted. He's like, wait, what? Anyways, that is Cynic, a little Cynic. Little baby Cynic right there.
I like now that I know where to point. Like, look, that one there.
There's something wrong with his mic.
Okay, Cynic, you might have to reset your hit reset the website. Like, hit refresh. That's how I got to get Gavin to work last time. For my
I should have done a test, but I just, like we always do, we jump in with both feet in this show.
So the bear trap could eat both of them at the same time.
Yeah, just be like, hey, boom, jump in and let's just go. So he needs to come back because I got something to show him today because it goes with our question of the week, which I thought was a pretty good question of the week. Which this week's question was, which two games would you want to mash up into an epic collaboration?
And you're welcome.
Yeah, well, your mine will probably blow you guys away. He's coming back in. Give me a second.
Okay,
there you go.
Can you hear me
got
now?
to. Yes.
No, we cannot hear you.
All right, so our
This is
question.
Cynic, hello. So
Our question of the week is, what two games would you want to mash up into one epic collaboration? So since it was Pocky's idea, I'm going to start with him. But before we do that, I printed something. Oh, I already broke it because I didn't have any super glue, so I just kind of halfway put it together. But are you ready for this, Cynic? You ready for this?
ready?
Doom Guy Isabel from Animal Crossing.
Well, that would be bad news for the Animal Crossing universe.
Yeah, I made it with the resin printer, and I didn't have super glue, so I kind of hot glued it together today, so her arm came off. But I just wanted to make sure I showed it to you guys, and I did make a Doom guy Isabel from Animal Crossing, and so now I'm going to actually put it together and have fun. All right, so Pocky, was you all right? What is the 2 games?
I was just informed by my lovely wife Courtney that we are still playing Streets of Rage 4 somehow.
I forgot to change Restream's info. That's why. Yeah, I didn't go into Restream and change the info because I was too busy getting this set up. So that's sorry. This is not Streets of Rage. Okay, so go Pocky.
My 2 games would obviously be Monster Rancher and Monster Rancher and Civilization.
That could be interesting.
Whole monster raising, farming, but at the same time you have the civilization that you're building up around it. So
I could see that.
Yeah.
Cynic looks confused over there.
No, I'm listening. I am just trying to make sure this one doesn't fall on her face. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me because I know you were on a Monster Rancher tear on our last podcast. So
because we got another one coming, we got a remaster coming out. I'm all excited.
Yeah, I think that was the last thing we talked about last time. So I'm not surprised you mashed it in there. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, Cynic, what are your 2 games?
All right, I want to throw Mortal Kombat out because that would just be too easy. Yeah. So we'll say what would make for an interesting mashup. I'd say maybe I'd say Spider-Man from say the Spider-Man PS4 universe, and maybe State of Decay. So imagine that you're Spider-Man and you have to go and recruit a bunch of other superhero survivors
and let them die
in a zombie universe, in a zombie infected universe that you have to loot and collect a bunch of stuff. I've been playing State of Decay and talking about that for the past I don't know how many podcasts, so I had to mash that in somewhere, and it might as well be with Spider-Man.
Honestly, I thought you were going to go Spider-Man with Yakuza. I was like, that's where you're going.
That'd be a good one, but Yakuza is already its own strange superhero universe. If those who haven't played it, you just if you have Game Pass, go download Yakuza 0 and play it, and
you'll be happy.
Yes,
you'll be. Now Yakuza Kiwami 2 is on Game Pass.
Is it now? I'm part of the way through 1, but I had to take a Yakuza break since I played it for like 2-3 weeks straight.
Yeah, no, it got announced a couple days ago, actually, that it's now on.
I will let you all guess what one of my games is.
Space Channel 5 mixed with
I thought what would be the most messed up thing to put Space Channel 5 with? Resident Evil. Dancing zombies. Weird sci-fi retro 50s future setting with Umbrella Corporation being evil and the dancing zombies, and there's already Space Michael, so now you have Space Thriller Michael. It just works.
Yeah, so I guess zombies are back in now. For a while, I think Walking Dead killed it, but I guess it's making a comeback.
Well, yeah, because there'll always be Resident Evil. So that's my 2 games. How ridiculous would that be? Dancing zombies.
I'm just thinking Dancing of the Dead.
Yeah, I was thinking of calling it Dancing of the Dead too, but yeah, you get Ooh La La and Leon. I'm set. Just let those 2 dance away and shoot zombies as they're dancing. Zombie dance fighting. Like, come on, it would be so much fun. Exactly. It already works, yo. We've seen it work in Thriller. Okay. So let's get into our news of the week. This is unfair to Cynic because we started a Facebook group, and I don't think he realized we were on Facebook sharing stories until I told him right now. Because I usually just text him the stories during the week, but Pocky's not on that thread. And so I just started a Facebook group, and I didn't even think about it until just now that I don't think Cynic saw any of our news stories we were gathering.
I did see a few of them, so thank you for including.
Woo-hoo! She's not going in completely blind, y'all.
No,
all right.
I'm not.
So first off, we're going to talk about how Blizzard is removing the fee to change genders in the game. And I'm wondering how much money they made off it because people swap their looks all the time. I mean, it's one of the reasons why people love things like that. But when you start, like, it's $10 to change your gamer tag on Xbox, like for real.
Yeah.
So they're dropping gender swapping fees, and I get it.
Yeah.
But
So
I
with
wonder
this
how
one-
much money they made off of it.
So they apparently made a good bit of change, but that was like really the only. I will have to consult my Warcraft player here for a second.
She has to go consult the professional over there.
The fees, you can change your gender, you can change your race, right?
For the cash options, or
Cash options.
yes, you can change your full appearance, not just your barbershop appearance. And by change appearance, this is currently in Shadowlands. In the pre-patch, it will change. You can change your gender at the barbershop, but you can't change your race at the barbershop. You are locked into your race. But in current structure, your appearance change is either just a straight, you're staying the same race, or just going towards one gender or the other, or you can change your race, and that's always going to be a big thing.
Yeah, so basically the paid option was race and gender, but starting
Two different services,
two different services.
technically. If you did a race swap, you could.
So I guess my question is I guess they made a lot of money off of it, but I've never understood you create your character the way you want it to begin with. I guess in Warcraft, because it's been around forever and a day, I could see at some point in time saying, I don't want to lose everything, let's just change gender. But most people I know they start with how they want to start off, and that's just how they play.
Well, okay, so the bigger part of this is it's something that, like, I would have mentioned, and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. It's people who, like we said, World of Warcraft's been around for, like, what, over 10 years now?
Yeah.
And some people have
15.
15 years now, and some people have transitioned, changed their physical gender in real life. And
Okay,
so
but wouldn't they have made their ideal representation when they started? I mean, 9/10 of these people would have made a female or male depending on how they see themselves
right.
when they started.
Courtney just said not always. Sometimes they're so buried under their beard, buried underneath their trying to present male, that they won't even allow their characters to be female.
I find that really weird because you're in a fucking virtual world. Nobody cares. Play who you want to play.
But the thing is, it's not about the other people. It's about yourself. And as a person going through that right now and going through HRT and everything, I will tell you, yes, I have all male characters, and it's because I was burying myself with my characters. So,
Okay.
as an example, if somehow I wanted to go back to WoW and play with Courtney, Hydra, my Draenei Paladin, would become a woman.
Okay. Well, at least they're not charging for that.
No,
I think changing races is something they should charge for because that's a major difference.
Well, I think you should be able to change whatever you want if it doesn't affect gameplay. I can understand them charging if you're going to change the way you play the game entirely.
Yeah, I think races would do that.
A race would change your actual stats and things like that. So,
because a warrior gnome actually gets that breakout ability where they can break out of traps. So I know a lot of, I even know some back in the day, some gnome warriors that still had that ability locked in, because it's like,
heaven forbid you try to trap a gnome, little bastards.
Indubitably.
Did you say indubitably?
Yeah, indubitably.
I thought you said indubitably.
No, indubitably.
Indubitably? How would you make a no pun out of it? It had to be indubitably.
No, that's what they say. Like, if you say yes, they'll say indubitably.
World of Warcraft. What can I say? All right, so keeping in this theme, you had shared a story about Deadly Premonition having to apologize for the way it handled a transgender character. I went and looked at this. I don't understand it. Now, hear me out before you start freaking out at me, because I can already hear it. It was set in a sequence in the game that was in 2005, where it was a different time and people had different views of things and they handled things differently. Setting something in a time and trying to keep it accurate that way should not be something you apologize for.
Okay.
You should just say, okay, look, it'll be a little different because it's set in 2005, and when you know someone as somebody for so long, which is the problem I have right now, because I've known you as Pocky for so long that I'm trying to remember to transition to a different way to refer to you as.
I
It's
like to
not because I'm
call
trying.
it-
Hold on. It's not because I'm trying to be offensive. It's because in my brain, I know you as this, and I've
Yeah.
known it for 7 years now, and now I have to, because you don't think about it when you're talking about your friends and stuff. You don't think about that. So in this game, I don't think it was meant to be bad.
Okay, so you're right. It wasn't meant to be bad. Now I will explain why Suda himself has apologized.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would.
So, so Suda apologized because before all the bad stuff happens, York talks about how respecting transgender people and their names and their identities is really important. The character goes on this gigantic 5-minute speech.
Yes, I read that.
Okay, then he starts dead naming anything. There's also a whole bunch
But
of other
Pocky,
stuff. Hold
I
on, hold
have
on.
done the same thing. We have done 2 Pride shows talking about this, and I still refer to you as a he sometimes. And I'm not doing it to be disrespectful. It's because it's a force of habit.
But the thing
So instead of understanding that that's just the way people are, he feels he has to come out and apologize for this because I guess people got offended and they took it like, oh no, it's deadlocking this, it's disrespecting this one. I don't think that was the intention. I think they thought this is how people think.
it's a bit more than that. There's also
How's it a bit more than that?
okay because there's
He
also
spent 5 minutes saying it's the importance of it, and then going right back to reverting to the way that he always referred to things.
right, but there's also more to it than that. There's also horrible racial stereotyping going on about black people and voodoo and all the others. Like it is really culturally insensitive. And Suda, who the last game he made was the missing, the island JJ something or other, and the missing, and he had trans people and people consult his articles, but it's just not the trans thing. It's also he did racial stereotyping typing of black people that was just straight up offensive.
Well, that's just their mistake for today's day and age doing something that stupid. But maybe he didn't see when they were developing this game that 2020 would turn out to be such a clusterfuck.
The game
He thought it would just slip right under the radar.
Well, no, the thing is, the game was made last year.
Well, yeah, they didn't know how 2020 was going to turn out, and they thought, we're just going to go coast this game out, and boom.
He's also like I said, it's not just the trans thing. The trans thing is the biggest thing, but there is also the racial stereotyping, the ethnic stereotyping, the cultural stereotyping. There's all these really big negatives to a lot of groups and individuals that it comes off really tone deaf for a guy who tries to be respectful to other people. People who've met Suda says he's actually a really nice guy. He does not try to come off as insensitive. That's why he made the missing.
Well, I hope
for some events he did in the past.
I do hope this works itself out. I just feel bad that it's being taken a little crazy, but I mean, Cynic, you've been awfully quiet over there with little Cynic.
Yeah, I've had to keep things short and sweet. I'm not 100% yet. Also, she keeps talking. So, I did, I read the article that she sent me and everything, and now I can. I think it's if you want to apologize for it, if he feels bad for things, I'll just I'll take him up on it.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm very fortunate, lucky. I don't have to deal with that kind of situation. That I don't have to take that apology to heart.
Yeah.
Hey, you brought it up, Gav. So Pocky can go off on you all he wants.
All right. So,
and it's not I want to go off. It's just it was. The trans thing is the thing everyone's spotlighting because that giant speech that happened and then going off on weird tangents. But there was more to it. There was a lot more to it. Suda.
There's a lot more background to it that is a little bit more.
Also,
all right.
The 15 frames a second frame rate was offensive.
So next up, I don't know what Ubisoft is doing over there. We're not going to talk a whole bunch about it because I guess they made you mad. I don't even like talking about it because they didn't give me Beyond Good and Evil 2. But they did announce that the only thing that they had in the pipeline that I was excited about was their Pirates game, Skull and Bones, getting a complete reboot. They apparently forgot it was there and decided to go back and just start from scratch. So it'll be interesting to see how close it is, because the reason I like this one is because as much as Sea of Thieves, it gets really annoying with all the griefers there, and it would be nice to just be able to go and play a pirate game with your friends and not have to worry about these jackasses on a boat sneaking up trying to kill you. Because that's just what they do. And I get that's part of the charm of Sea of Thieves, but it's not really charming after a while. Sometimes you just want to get to play a good pirate game. So that's why I'm kind of excited to see what they do with this one. Not a whole lot's been talked about it, but they're going to be going that. Why are you showing me $1 free to play?
That's going to be what you're going to get charged for a flipping flag.
And like I said, I buy cosmetic stuff in Destiny and sometimes Plants vs. Zombies because I know that money's well worth it. These little games, I ain't gonna bother. I'll play Skull and Bones for a week and then I'll go back to Destiny. Because let's face it, that is my pattern. Well, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and Destiny.
So my thought about this is I'm surprised because of how well Assassin's Creed Black Flag did that this did happen quicker. Because Black Flag was their biggest selling Assassin's Creed game up to that point. And the fact that everyone said, "Oh, I love it because of the pirating," and everyone I'm surprised that Skull. There was even an article like, "Does Ubisoft remember they have the pirate?"
It just literally disappeared. I forgot completely about it until I read the article. I was like, "Huh, there was a game like that, huh?" And I wasn't as excited at first because it seemed like they were going more towards that Assassin's Creed type of thing. But I like the party play fun system and the ease of Sea of Thieves. I just hate the fact that there's so many griefers. And that you don't have the option to really just play in a private place with your friends.
Yeah, I'll agree. Getting attacked by a boat full of squeakers when you just want to chill out, that's pretty annoying.
Especially when you're trying to teach someone to play, or when you spawn in your first island and people are just spawn killing you just because they can. That doesn't make a game fun. And sometimes you just want to teach someone and just go sail the seas. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I try to log in and just get killed in the first island.
You do realize that in other countries, like mostly in Asia, that you're referring to someone as an American PvPer as an insult.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of PvP. Like, I was watching this video the other day about Destiny PC cheaters and how it's gotten out of hand. I watched a video where this dude was taking on a cheater in Call of Duty. And the dude was watching his stream as he was cheating, playing against him. Like, it was freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's sad. Just play a game, y'all. Just play and have fun. If you see a giant ship and you think it's got treasure, by all means go. But when you see some little pollywog and you can hear someone's teaching someone how to play, leave them asses alone. Just be done.
You do realize that one of the most popular MMOs at one point was Lineage 2. The company that made Lineage 2 had to change PvP because when they introduced it to America, and Asia and whatnot is custom not to mess with the low-ranked players because there's nothing to gain from it. And in the United States, all they do is mess with the low-level characters because what they get is joy of griefing people. They had to introduce guards into the game after 7 years of being out in other countries because they didn't think about Americans being assholes.
Of course not.
Well, that's pretty funny.
All right, well, here's my next bit of news that I consider to be, I don't even know what to think about this. So I saw this article yesterday about some guy realized that, I guess he works in retail, they're not getting any more Xbox Live year subscription cards. That was followed by Xbox today announcing xCloud is going to be joining Games Pass only if you have Ultimate, which we have. So you can now access the Games Pass games on xCloud on your mobile devices and computers. And then followed by the article that they are now stopping production of Xbox One X and the original Xbox One. They're all digital. They're only doing Xbox One S. So they're really getting ready for this new wave of stuff. They're stopping everything. I don't know what they're planning to do because Games Pass Ultimate It's $15 a month. It's your online and everything in Games Pass now with xCloud. I don't
Yeah,
see a
it's
problem here.
yeah. I mean, it's $5. $5 a month was the original price of Xbox Live, and
Yeah,
you stack $10 on top of it, which was the old price for Games Pass. So Ultimate gets you Xbox Live plus your Game Pass. I mean, there's no
plus
reason.
PC games.
Yeah,
Uh,
if you're an online player, there's really no reason not to have Ultimate. But
so I
the
think,
fact that they're ramping things up, I remember when they transitioned from the 360, and it took a long time to fully transition from the 360 to the Xbox before they stopped production entirely. It
yeah,
took like a few years. So for them to stop production now before the new systems are out is pretty aggressive.
and like I said, we're still going to make Xbox One S's, but the One X and the original one and the all digital, no more. And then they came out and said, next week's show, well, I guess it's next week's show, where there's just nothing but games. Don't expect any sort of prices or anything. I'm like, y'all, it's freaking middle of August. You've got to announce some pre-orders at some point in time. Let's get this stuff on the road. Let's start getting these things ready to go because I'm ready to click that button and get it done. Hurry up.
So I have a theory about that. But first off, Microsoft is being stupid about this. Sony's not doing this. Nintendo's not doing this when they release new system. They give it a little bit of time. Xbox is not doing that. That's really stupid right now with its economy and the world economy and everyone else's economy in the toilets right now.
Okay, well, first of all, let me defend that one. I can see discontinuing Xbox One X when Series X is right around the corner
True.
because it was a pricier system. I can see getting rid of the all digital edition because I don't think it actually sold very much because people weren't ready for it. Keep the One S, which is fine, but I don't think they've made the original model forever. Like the one in my bedroom is a day one system. I've had it since day one. My controller still says day one with 2013 on it or whatever year it was. So I get it. They still have stock out there, so people start to go buy it because that's just what they want to do. But I don't think they're shooting themselves in the foot. I think they're getting ready for a different marketplace, and I think they probably have something up their sleeve they're not telling people yet.
No, I know what they have up their sleeves. I can tell you what they have up their sleeves. They're banking on the United States government to give everyone another stimulus check. And then they're banking on people spending that stimulus check just like they did last time, buying a newer system.
I think it's maybe a little more than that because they haven't announced their all digital system, but we know it's out there. And that'll be just as much as a Xbox One S, apparently, or less. Yeah, it's just a weird time to be sitting. Like, we would have already had freaking pre-orders lined up. I mean, they would have announced that stuff last month. Like, the normal cycle, we would have had everything by now. And now they're just like dragging their feet. So I'm kind of wondering what gives.
I think it's the fact that Corona has killed like one, a lot of people, and two, a lot of economic momentum. I mean, even in like Japan, where a lot of game developers are happening in both PlayStation, Microsoft, and whatever, and Nintendo, a lot of them can't work. A lot of the game people cannot work from home. They don't have the home PCs. They don't have the ability to do that.
Well, like today they announced Bungie that the new year for Destiny is going to be 2 months behind. So instead of September, we're getting it in November, the week before Cyberpunk. Of all the places to move a game release,
I will be right back, folks.
a week before Cyberpunk.
I'm just saying the fact that I don't think they're worried about that. The reason they're not worried about it is because that Microsoft's handling of Cyberpunk 2020 is actually really brilliant. The fact that if you buy it for the Xbox One, when you the new Xbox whatever,
it's their smart delivery system. They're really smart about all of that. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, so I think it's going to boil down to them not caring about that. Also, no offense to you or any Destiny players, but Destiny players are like WoW players. They're going to play. They might play Cyberpunk, but if you're releasing a Destiny product, most of them are going to stick with Destiny because that's all they care about.
Uh, I will give you some agreement there. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Cyberpunk and something else comes out about that same time.
What's it? November? Hold on.
Yeah, it's the beginning of November. So there's a couple things coming out that are going to be taking up people's time. And I get, they've been impacted. They've had to deal with some things. So I get it, and the community's been really kind of groovy about it. Groovy. I can't believe I just said groovy.
You work, sir.
Uh, yeah. So the community's been okay about it since they announced it today, and we understand. But we just don't know because what are we going to do for 2 extra months? Is Destiny just going to die? And all these other games that have been delayed, is interest in them going to wane to the point where nobody really cares? Because really, is anybody not waiting for Cyberpunk at this point in time?
There's enough
no,
hype. There's enough hype around it for a while. They just, I don't know. I really haven't seen ever since they did that initial launch trailer, brought Keanu out, talked about the customizable genitals. Like it had all the hype and all the news story for a while. And yeah, I can't imagine they'll let all that go to waste. I'm sure that caused a lot.
Well,
Yeah,
they just did another press release with a demo they gave to a bunch of media types. That was
they
like a
did.
3 or 4 hour demo. So
Yeah, the demo seemed interesting. It looked like Fallout. I mean,
Oh my god, has
it
anybody
looked
been
good.
monitoring our chat?
uh,
I
I only see private chat. I don't see our public chat.
No, our restream chat. Sorry, I just thought about that. Like, no one's watching our chat right now. So if you've been chatting, sorry if we haven't responded to you.
Yeah, my apologies. I can't literally see. I can't see the chat
It's
anymore.
not going to be here because we're not in restream. Usually I have to pull it sideways. Anyways, keeping it going.
So Cyber. By the way, Valhalla is coming out November. Crisis Tale is coming out. 13 is coming out in November. I wish there was a more updated website. Hold on. Here we are. Right here.
Yeah, what'd you find? Lay it on us.
Hold on. I'm going to the Wikipedia page because like every other website was like from earlier this year, so like no one's updated that website.
I
Uh,
tell you what, while you're looking that up, I will just do a slight segue while you're checking that out. And if nobody has checked out the Nintendo, if you got a Nintendo Switch, you have the online service. Go ahead and download the SNES emulator and the NES emulator. It's always being updated. They just threw some updates at it. So uh, my most anticipated SNES game came out, which was Donkey Kong Country. So
I
Donkey Kong,
saw that.
I didn't see an article about it. I just opened up my Switch and said you had an update. I said, cool. I wonder what they added. Donkey Kong Country popped up, and I kind of went through the roof and gushed and just couldn't have been happier. I wasn't sure if Rare, since it's owned by Microsoft, if that was even a thing that they could put on there for free. But it's Nintendo, so they put it on there, and
Well,
I'm so
they've been playing really nice with Microsoft, so I'm not
yeah,
surprised.
very true. They definitely have. They also added a couple more, and I'll just mention it for good measure. Natsume Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
Now, the LJN wrestling games were infamous for being awful. This is not an LJN wrestling game, so I'm actually pretty interested to try it.
I would like to clarify: all LGN games were awful, sir.
No, 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 no. We won't say all of them. I'd say there's a couple gems, but you're right. It was a seal of shitty quality when you saw the rainbow.
Now you're playing with power. Shitty
Yes.
quality power.
Speaking of, one of the person who rallied against LJN the most was the Angry Video Game Nerd, and one of his episodes featured the game The Immortal, which has also been added onto the NES library, along with the other two Natsume Championship as well as Donkey Kong Country. So go try The Immortal, see what the nerd was complaining about. Apparently, the arcade and Genesis versions were much better.
So,
All right, so
no, October 30th, which is just close enough to the October 29th is Watchdog Legions. The 30th is the third part of the Dark Pictures anthology series. And then 13, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Cyberpunk 2077.
It'll be interesting.
All in November.
You know,
November. Okay.
it's not going to be interesting. Uh, Knitting Sims.
I saw
Oh,
this
come
and I just
on.
wanted to share. This was
So the Sims apparently had a community vote for what they wanted to add, and knitting was apparently the winner because I guess does anyone play the Sims anymore?
You're gonna offend all your cosplayer friends, my friend.
They don't knit; they sew. They actually make fun things, and they don't need to. They make it in real life. They don't need to make it in a video
You're
game.
implying that the knitting community does not make fun things. You're offending an awful lot of our
Uh-oh.
RGB fan base.
No, I
Trigger
wonder
alert for all our knitting friends.
of all the things to vote for in the Sims, you want them to be able to knit.
Hey, if you want a little realism,
Well, I mean, I don't know what the other options were. Does anyone know what the other options were in this vote?
I can.
Because for knitting to win, it must have been like dog grooming, which I think they've already done. There's a package for dog grooming. Yard mowing was probably one of the options.
There's already yard mowing. There's already gardening.
The last time I played The Sims, I found fucked up ways to kill them, and that's all I did in the game.
so you could by that description, the last time you played Sims could be Sims 1.
I think it was Sims 2, actually.
We're up to 4 now.
Yeah, I would like fence them in and watch them pee themselves and starve and die in the front yard. I would get rid of doors so they couldn't leave a room and then set the room on fire.
You were that guy.
I was that guy.
Sims player.
I'd make them go to work and they could never come home because there'd be no door to get inside and they had to go to work the next day and they would just die of exhaustion. Like, I was that guy. I didn't do that in Roller Coaster Tycoon. I built badass vehicles in Roller Coaster Tycoon, but Sims, they could go die. It was also funny because I would download the skin, so I would like kill Britney Spears in a garden accident, or Spider-Man would just run into the wall and die. Like, it was always fun stuff.
Or Neo would die at the computer where he couldn't get up. So the answer to your question is I don't know. They did not in the news story that I posted from Polygon. Unfortunately, no, they didn't say. But the previous winners on this were a technology one before.
So they didn't say.
Yeah, they didn't say. You don't know.
All right. Well, that was just a quick bump of the road before we lose Pocky to the Devolver Digital. So try to wrap this up in 5 minutes or less, because there was one thing I do want to show you guys that I absolutely loved.
So
besides, I will just say this: the whole thing was pretty awesome. But this is your thing.
So Devolver Digital is an awesome company that we effing love. We've met the owner of it, whatnot, and it was just great to meet them and play some of the early games. But they've been telling for the last 3 years. They've been telling an actual story with their press conferences. It's not just a press conferences, but actually a series of events. Like in the first year, a guy lost his hand to the machine where if you threw money at the screen, it would teleport and get you better stuff, and he accidentally got his hand stuck and he got ripped off.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, he shows back up with a Gatling gun arm and kills the hostess. And then the year after that, she's now plugged up to a machine all like RoboCop style / Matrix, and they're using her brain to like become the ultimate like E3 hype machine. And so this year they did a Devolver Direct, and they were making fun of the Direct culture. They were making fun of the gaming industry as a whole, like they do every year. Like the one year they sold in real life, you could buy for $10,000 the Devolver coin that did absolutely nothing except you spent $10,000 to get a coin. It was this big coin about this big, and so of course they showed games. They showed off Shadow Warrior 3. They showed off Fall Guys. They showed off a whole bunch of their games.
Love Shadow Warrior.
Shadow Warrior 3, which is that lame. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Still, let's see what else was there.
Yeah, both Shadow Warrior reboots have been super good so far.
Yeah. Serious Sam 4 is coming out. But so overall, it was just like, it was insane because, they also showed the release date for Karnan, the one about you play the space alien that like infects people and like goes to a laboratory and kills. You basically play the alien in those '80s body-eating horror movies.
I will play that.
Yes, it looks like a lot of fun, but yeah, it was insane because like spaced out through it, they were like trying to stop the direct digital culture where it's just about 24/7 pumping people with product. Like they did have games, they were just announcing games for the sake of announcing games so they could have clicks on their website. Like they were planning to release them, and they were just gonna like, hey, we've got this game. And they had like weird cameos. They had like two of their other developers show up and go like, yeah, we've got a studio. We need help building stuff. We're not making a game. We just got that. Sonic
Yeah,
Fox.
it's a really funny hour-long thing.
Fox from Evo shows up and he goes, I don't make video games. What are we talking about? Just say you're making a game. But I'm not, though.
Um,
A video game?
So
He's for it.
they're awesome because they're crazy, and we love crazy. Like they are the most awesome people we've ever met. Some of the most awesome people we've met a lot of awesome people, so I can't just say they were the most awesome. But you know how I like crazy.
That we've met. They are some
Yeah.
of the most awesome, fun people we've met.
Yeah. So the one thing that they showed that just had me sold. Pocky, can you guess what it is?
I know what it is because I'm looking at the screen, but it's Fall Guy. I thought you were also going to go for another game, but yeah, Fall Guy. Oh my god.
Here we go. Are you ready for this one?
Ready.
See this, Cynic? This is a new trailer, by the way. This is brand new. Cynic, you're going to have to, for some reason, on that screen, it doesn't. Hold on. Okay, so you can't hear it. Sadly. In fact,
I find it weird.
I cannot, but as long as other folks can hear it, I'm good with that. Now look this
Hold on.
sucker.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's lagging so much in the stream when it's playing for like this. We're testing this, by the way, just so you guys know. Basically, it's like Mario Party but on crack, and it's one of those like battle royale. Last one standing wins.
So the premise is a battle royale game, but instead of being based on your ability to shoot another person in the face, it's your ability to go through one of those extreme wipeout, like TV show Ninja Warrior style.
Ninja Warrior type. Okay, Fruit Ninja Warrior here.
Yeah, and so it's about getting to point A, point B. Only the first so many people can get through the door, and then they shut the door.
That just looks stupid fun.
It does look stupid.
Doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
that looks
looks
fantastic.
so stupid fun that I cannot wait to get my hands on it and be like, man.
So they also had so they announced that there's going to be a bunch of costumes. They're promising not to. They're not promising. They're basically saying that you don't have to buy anything. You can just buy the game and you're done. So all the costumes are collectible. The only difference is going to be depending on where you play it. I think it's going to be on. It is going to be on Steam, and I'm trying to remember what else. I think it's going to be on.
It's gonna have to be on a console at some point in time
Oh, it is
because it's made for console play.
Definitely.
Hold on, Fall Guys. Here it is. It's going to be on PS4 also. So it's PS4, and it's going to be a PS4, and it's going to be on Steam.
PS4 and Steam.
Yes.
Well, I'd hope for some cross collaboration maybe later. That'd be pretty cool.
Since they two of their other games, the next system this will probably go for, to be honest, won't be Microsoft. It'll probably be Nintendo.
Maybe Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be perfect on the Switch.
Yeah, can you imagine all of us with our Switches?
Oh my god, yes.
So,
Yeah, yeah, that would be fantastic. I could definitely picture. I could picture playing that on the Switch. It looks like a kid's Switch, Mario Party on crack battle royale kind of game. That seems like it would be perfect for the Switch. In fact, when you open it up, I kind of could imagine that being a Switch exclusive, just because it's that art style.
It would have been perfect. It would have been like, what?
Yeah.
There is one other thing they released that day. There was a couple demos they released. They actually released a full game that day, and it's called Devolver Land. And it is basically a fictional Devolver Digital Direct convention, but it gets shut down for some mysterious reason. You, a Devolver Digital diehard fan, break into the convention center, and you have to fight your way through security robots that will just teleport you out, so you don't it's not, there's no death. You just get teleported out of the thing, and you have to wake your way back. But each level area is a south floor, north floor, east floor, west floor, and each floor has 3 or 4 booths. If you go into the booth, it's the booths for each of their games, and if you walk up to the screen, it plays the trailer for you.
That's a sales tool right there.
There's also it feels like a convention set. It actually feels like a game convention. You could walk by the GeForce NVIDIA graphics card booth, and they're like, "Hey, buy your new card." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is straight up a convention center." But there's also hidden items throughout the game, which will reveal games that didn't get revealed. There are trailers that aren't part of the list that if you watch them, you get an achievement for. There's 22 achievements total. It was free and it was a marketing device, but they even told you this is a marketing device.
Yeah, they were honest about it.
But at the same time, that's brilliant. Release a video game once a year that is nothing but trailers that you walk through.
So, yeah, that's been our show today. We wrapped it up. I do want to do a special DLC in 2 weeks. I'm telling you guys about it now. I want us to talk about our favorite post-apocalyptic games since we're in a virus situation and just everyone talks about it being the end of the world. So I want us to talk about our favorite post-apocalyptic games. I want to find a guest to come talk about it. So I think we'll do it in 2 Mondays. We'll do a special DLC episode, and then we'll follow up on Thursday with a regular episode. What do you guys think? Would that be fun?
Sounds very fun. Love that idea.
And I was not aware that Sunday was Sunday. I left work early Thursday because I was just so fatigued and tired because I've been so. Saturday I didn't do too terribly much. And Sunday I thought Sunday was Saturday, so I didn't really get out of bed. And then Monday came, and I was like, "Oh, okay, you gotta get to play games tonight." And everyone's like, "No, it's Monday. You gotta go to work." So I called into work on Monday because I wasn't feeling well. I was in a time warp, so I have to apologize for that to you because
I don't blame you. I was kind of ready to go, but to be honest, Sunday was kind of a tough. I mean, the main thing that I'm still dealing with is this throat issue. I get a little tired, a little fatigued, so I've been resting for the most part. But man. So I like to be able to communicate and be entertaining, and so when it came time, I think 8 o'clock rolled around, 9 o'clock rolled around, and I looked at I said it's 9 o'clock, and I think we were supposed to be streaming some Halo today.
I was watching Attack of the Killer Donuts.
I was like, if this invite doesn't come, I'm just gonna rest. I'm just gonna rest. I made myself some tea, had some honey.
Dude, I literally thought it was Saturday. We watched Killer Sofa and Attack of the Killer Donuts on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
Both of which were ridiculous.
That sounds awful.
Hold on. I think I have a picture of the Killer Sofa. It was beyond the point of insane.
Is that the where if you sit in it just sucks you in and then you die?
No. It was kind of misleading because they made it out like it had teeth, but it doesn't have teeth.
Huh.
But literally, it looked like it belonged on Pee-wee's Playhouse. You can see the little button eyes.
Wow.
And he just looked like a grumpy old potato.
It looks like a grumpy turd.
So I gotta explain this one to you.
Say the magic word.
So it moves and it whispers, and when it gets up and talks, it's like a transformer. The lazy boy comes out, and that becomes like its one leg, and it stands up. It kind of shovels around. It's really not scary looking.
That's ridiculous.
But they do the things where it's staring at people out the window or throwing people off a balcony, and it has springs that come out instead of arms. So it somehow reached up to the second story window and knocked on it. And when she came out and looked, it scuffled away.
Just ridiculous.
You will get to see this at the Toy Museum once everything reopens, because we will be doing a monthly What the Fuck movie series there, and Killer Sofa will be on that list of things to watch, along with Velocipaster, the original Alice in Wonderland movie, and a bunch of other weird things we've got lined up. So just be prepared.
We need I think we saw the contact information for the guy who made Jesus Christ Vampire Slayer.
Oh, no, wasn't that Fist of Jesus?
Yeah, Fist of Jesus. Yeah,
that one got pulled off Amazon Prime real quick.
by the way, you told me about Picard since Allie really wanted to finish the Avatar series, so she got CBS All Access just to watch Legend of Korra, which has been very surprisingly very, very good. So I was able to actually see Picard, which you were pretty much right. It is Old Man Logan in space, except
but
without
it's everything Star Trek needs to be.
It's taken very seriously. Acting solid. The story is very Old Man Logan, and I'll just say that because it really is. You even have your ass-kicking daughter figure.
Yep.
Design and her.
But it goes into some pretty heavy things by the end.
For those of you who haven't seen it and want to, I'm not spoiling anything. I still haven't spoiled anything. It seems like it'll be worth the payoff. Will be worth it.
It will be. Stick with it.
Yeah, 7 and 9 was like part of the marketing. Was her being back in that series.
So that's it for this episode. We're going to test this system out some more. We'll probably go back to our usual for the next couple of weeks, but just jump into it with both feet with this one. Yeah, so it's going to be lots of fun. Thank you guys for coming on. Don't forget we have live shows all week long. You can check our Facebook page and our social media accounts for all the info for those. And you can catch our question for next week, which we'll post probably this weekend on our Facebook page. So we'll have lots of fun with that.
So Gavin will post it on Saturday, which means Sunday.
Yeah, well, I just go in and schedule it. You guys, I got to do all of our scheduling and all of our social media, all of our marketing. I got to produce 3 or 4 shows. I've got to get another show ready to go. Y'all think it's so easy.
No one wants to hear you complain. Just say goodbye.